What's going on, everybody? It's East New York back with another video. Something a little different, showcasing my PvE build for anybody that's like me, just getting back into the game. And here, as you can see, 3-piece Alpha Bridge, 2-piece Striker, which translates into 4-piece Alpha Bridge, 3-piece Striker. Primary Police M4, 23% enemy armor damage, 22.9k base damage. Responsive, ferocious, and destructive as the talents. Going for a high enemy armor, high damage to elites build here. As you can see, going into my character sheet, 52% damage to elites, 62.5% enemy armor. Let's go. My secondary, I switch it up between an M700 Carbon, 139k base, ferocious, destructive, and elevated for that extra 10% weapon damage when I'm at least 2 meters above my target. As you can see, 52% damage to elites, 39.5%, not as high as 62.5, but that's because it doesn't come with that native enemy armor damage. I do swap that out in between that and my Urban MDR, 60.1k base, rocking ferocious, destructive, and distracted, so I can get that extra 18% damage towards enemies under status effect. As you can see, 52% enemy armor, damage to elites, and 62.5 enemy armor. Like I said, I switched that secondary Urban MDR and M700 depending on the mission. But getting right into the gear, Alpha Bridge chest piece, 1830 native armor, 1251 firearm roll, 10% exotic damage, 16,000 health. And for the mods, I'm rocking stamina mods with 4% damage to elites. I was unable to get my hands on the firearm mods, so stamina is the way I went until I could get my hands on those. Striker mass, 999 native armor, 1261 firearms roll, and I went for the enemy armor damage and damage to elites on that. And once again, stamina mod with 4% damage to elites. Into the knee pad, 1593 native armor roll. I went with the 8% critical hit damage on that rather than the low 4% enemy armor. I have a 1250 firearm roll on that and 13% damage to elites, again with the purple stamina mod, 4% damage to elites, and a 2% pulse critical hit chance performance mod. Into the holster, 982 Alpha Bridge holster, 1266 firearms roll. It came with a very low roll, so I had to pick that up. That's why I stood with the native health roll rather than go for a crit chance. Into the gloves, Alpha Bridge gloves, 927 native armor, assault rifle damage, critical hit damage, and again a low firearm roll because I had to re-roll one of the minor stats for enemy armor damage. Ninja bike bag, which makes this build possible. 1334 maxed out native armor, 1272 maxed out firearms, and I believe I did optimize this backpack, so everything is maxed out. 13,339 health, burn resistance, and again with the stamina mods with 4% damage to elites and 2% pulse critical hit damage. My sidearm, being that I forgot last time, double barrel, old trusty, determined, sustained, and predatory that I rock on mostly all my DPS builds. First wave X45, I'll switch it in for that harmful when I'm doing a PvP, in Dark Zone especially. And that's really the beef of the build there. As you can see, everything is pretty much rolled towards enemy armor damage, damage to elites. My skills, I pretty much go with a booster shot and a pulse. Booster shot doesn't really heal me for much, doesn't really come back too fast, but it's really just for that boost of damage and damage resilience. My pulse is just to get that extra critical hit damage and chance, squeeze it out. My talents here, steady hand, so I could have that extra stability to hit my targets on the move, you know, which works hand in hand. Precision, so when I don't have my pulse active, I can still manage to get that extra damage out of my targets from a headshot. And critical save, so when I am low in the red zone, last bar of health, I can pop that medi and get back into the fight, get that damage resilience. But this is, like I said, this is a PvE build. more based on farming for these events. This global events, legendary missions, incursions. If anybody else is getting into the game just like me, I hope you enjoy the build.